is Robert Fox, the Birdman. And this is the monster in my closet. The monsters in my closet like to sleep the day away, so when I get home from school, I let them out to play. When my mom calls me down to supper, I give them each a broom. First they put my toys away, and then they clean my room. The mummy hates to vacuum, so if he starts the line, I kick him in the rear and tell him to trade jobs with Frankenstein. Wolfman used to fold my clothes. I'll give him one more chance. Last time he wasn't careful and left fur balls in my pants. When my room is nice and neat, I bring them up some food. But Dracula wants to drink my blood. I think that's very rude. When it's time to go to bed, I hug them all goodnight. They jump back in my closet while I turn out the light. I've taken care of monsters for as long as I can recall, but the monsters in my closets are the nicest one of all.
Halloween, that special time of year when you pick out your pumpkin. Not just any pumpkin. Most people like to pick out huge pumpkins. Some pumpkins look like famous people, like Bert and Ernie from Sesame Street, or Jay Leno from The Tonight Show. What people look for when they pick out pumpkins: 1, no green or yellow blotches; 2, a stem; 3, size; and 4, no rotten spots. I'm Bear Klaus here with Tom Toomey, the owner of Highland Hill Farms. When do you start getting really busy with people looking for pumpkins?
Well, just about the very beginning of October, it turns out that people start thinking about pumpkins. In September, they're going back to school, and in October, they're ready to have some fun with pumpkins. And so just about the first weekend, they start to come down and start looking at them.
When are the pumpkins harvested?
They're harvested just about that time, because the pumpkins, we have to get the pumpkins out of the field because we start to have frosts about the beginning of October. And if we leave the pumpkins in the frost too many times, they get ruined. So we try to get the pumpkins up to the store where we can cover them around the first week in October.
Is it fun owning a farm?
I think it's fun. I actually grew up in Boston and decided to go into farming, and so I did go in because it was fun. A lot of my friends are in farming because their dads were in it, but that's not my case. I went into farming because I enjoyed it, and I came out here to Holliston and the Ashland area and have enjoyed it. I like it a lot.
Who's going to be the next farmer when you die or something like that, or give up the farm?
Well, that's a good question, because a lot of times, like I have a son, a 5-year-old son, Phil, and I have a daughter. And these days, a lot of times the daughters want to run the farms, believe it or not, and they're very, very good at it. A lot of times people think, oh, it's got to be the... Not anymore. And the young girls are very, very good at running the stores and running the farm. And so somewhere up in the future, a decision has to be made, and probably one of the two will stay at the farm and the other one will go on and do something else. I hope I'm alive to watch them.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Pumpkins aren't the only part of Halloween. Costumes are another part. Look at him. He has a great costume on. You know, costumes. Let's see some of the costumes other people are wearing today.
Hi, I'm Jamie Swick, and I'm going to read you a story called The Leaf. One day, the pizza man came to the door. He rang the doorbell. I opened the door. I took the pizza. I closed the door. I opened the pizza. There was the leaf. I dropped the pizza box. The leaf started to chase me. I ran for my blanket and jumped under it. I heard the leaf hovering. I thought it was looking for a window, but I was wrong. It was looking for me. I jumped out of my covers and closed the door where the leaf was hovering. I ran to the closet and got my big leaf blower. I kicked the door down and blew the leaf blower to smithereens. I ran to every window in the house. They were all closed except one. Just about then, I heard a hovering sound. I tried to turn on my leaf blower, but it didn't work. So I dropped it and got out a donut. After that, I got out a chainsaw, but that didn't work either. So I got out a double-bladed lightsaber and fought one leaf after another. But one dodged all of my attacks. Then the Power Rangers came in and died. A deer came in and ate the leaf, but the leaf popped out of its head with the brain on its head. The deer ran around the house screaming, "Ah!" Then it stopped, and I tapped it on the shoulder. Then it died. Then my cat came in and meowed, and the leaf fell to the ground, paralyzed on the floor. I gave him to my worst friend after that, and hoped that the same would happen to me as well as him. The end. Or is it?
Hi, I'm Michael, and I got this poem and I don't know what its name is. The angriest wind blew to the day, it banged all the shutters and tore away. Shingles and branches and with a whoop, it blew off the top of the chicken coop. Then slammed the gate and went down the lane, and all that was left was the quiet rain.
We'll create a little design here. Now, I'm using an eyebrow pencil, a black eyebrow pencil that you might have at home. Very quickly, you go ahead and create your design on the face with a black pencil. And we use all water-based makeup. Now you can get a kit of this type here. All these are water bases. I use a larger one, as you see here, because I use an awful lot of it. But a small kit of that type here will suffice for 7 or 8 times. Water on a sponge. And we go ahead and very gently apply it to the face. I'm not concerned about going over the black marks because I already have my design there. Close your eyes there. I believe in using all water-based makeup since it's easy to get off and will not stain the clothes. A great many pieces of makeup that you might purchase, the grease type, will have chemicals in it that will stain not only the face, but will also stain the clothes itself. Oh, that was very hard to do, wasn't it? I'm going to take the black pencil now again. I'm going to create and emphasize the eyebrow. This isn't quite dry, and the result of that is I'm putting my hand on it. Let the water base dry before you put your hands on the face at all times. But as you know, television waits for no man, or woman for that matter of fact. So I'm going to go right ahead and create a little design here on her face and fill everything in. Here I am using a brush. It's a sable brush, and this is also water-based. One thing you want to make sure that you do not put any red around the eyes. Now, usually we try to put a rubber nose on. But that is not necessary. I prefer just painting the nose on. And this will come off very easily because it is a watercolor. To emphasize the nose, take the black pencil, go right around the edges of it. And we want to give it a little bit of a laugh line here, laugh line there. Maybe we'll give her a few laugh lines in here. Now, you can get an inexpensive wig in one of the stores. We can go ahead and do more with it. Put something like this around it, and you have a clown. It doesn't take very long, simple. It'll wash out, wash off the face, and also out of anything that she might be wearing.
There was a story that I'm about to tell you. It is about a teenager. What happened was that they were setting up for a party. A perfect girl, or should I say almost perfect. The boys were talking, and they said she was almost perfect, but she thought she was perfect. Everyone liked her, and she thought she was perfect because of that. So that night, she went home and figured out what wasn't perfect on her. And she looked and looked, and finally she saw that her eyebrows were too fat. And so then she decided to go on a diet, only eating like vegetables, and she kept this off for a week. After that week, the party began. She came to the party, and everyone was amazed how much she had lost. She looked perfect. So then the music started, and she started dancing. And everyone heard a sound like this. And they wondered what it was. It was the girl's bones rattling. Not in the wind, just in her. Everyone started laughing.
I am Reginald Clark. I am afraid of the dark, so I always insist on the light on, and my teddy to hug, and my blanket to rub, and my thummy to suck or bite on, and 3 bedtime stories, 2 trips to the toilet, 2 prayers, and 5 hugs from my mommy. I am Reginald Clark, and I am afraid of the dark, so please do not close the book on me.
I'm going to do a very simple type of makeup on this young man. Show you how quickly you can do with things you have at home practically. Now you can use something like this here. I'm using the black in this kit here. Or if you have mascara at home, or just using an black eyebrow pencil, you could do the same thing. But you take this here and you just stipple it around. He hasn't looked this clean for a long time. Huh. All right? That's... See? immediately you start to create an illusion. I will give him a little bit of heavy eyebrows. Take and use the red here on the palette. Boys like to have something just a little bit different. We're going to put this little mark down here and then take the black eyebrow pencil again. I'm going to run right into it. Now, what we do want to do, we want to make him look tough. So we create a little bit of darkness around his eyes, and then we use a little bit, just a little bit of the black, so it creates an illusion here. Now, it doesn't take very much to find something at home that you can go ahead and, well, I think we can get something else here, add to it. Before we do that, I think we'll give him my patch. And send him out as a pirate. The simplicity of doing things of this sort, safe for the child, and can be very effective. What do you think? Huh? You think it's good? Okay, fine.
My uncle was walking down a lonely dirt road one day. He came upon a man who was also walking down that road. The man looked at my uncle looked at that man. The man was scared of my uncle was scared of that man. But they kept on walking, and it began to get dark. The man looked at my uncle, and my uncle looked at the man. The man was very scared of my uncle. My uncle was very scared of that man. But they kept on walking. They came to a big woods. It was getting darker. The man looked at my uncle looked at the man. The man was really scared of my uncle. My uncle was really scared of that man. They kept on walking. Deep down in the woods they went. It was getting darker. The man looked at my uncle looked at the man. The man was terribly scared of my uncle. My uncle was terribly scared of...
Once there was a man who was driving past a graveyard. There was a girl sitting on the post of the graveyard. He drove past and said, "Do you want to ride home? It's getting dark and it's raining." So the girl said, "Okay." And so he drove the little girl home and the next day he found that the little girl's sweater was in the car. So he drove back to the house and said, "Here, this must be your little girl's sweater." And the father and the mother pointed to a picture and said, "That little girl?" And the man said, "Yes." And they said, "That girl died 20 years ago."
There is a monster under my bed, and I dread that I'd be dead if he bites off my head. I try to go to bed, but he said that he fed on my cat's head. So I still tried to go to bed, but I dread that he'd bite off my head. So I put my head under the bed and I bit off his head. The end.
What I'm going to start with here is a little bit of molding putty. Now, this molding putty you either get in a theatrical store or at some of the other stores that sell things for Halloween have it. This molds right onto the face, and you can create all kinds of illusions with it. I could go ahead and use this on her nose too, but I'm not going to, because she's a nice girl, and I don't want to hurt her feelings. Usually, we take a little bit of spirit gum, That is the adhesive I talked about before, and put it underneath it so it really will hold for the whole evening. Now, this particular type of character, we're going to use cake makeup again. Notice I keep using water colors. And we're going to put a shadow in here. Shadow on the other side of the face. Shadow over here. Shadow over here. And I'll put a shadow on the both sides like this. Yeah. All right. Quite an improvement already. Now, in order to create this particular kind of a character, now you can do this on a child as well as an adult. Use a darker makeup and as a shadow, and use a white makeup for a highlighter. Now here again, I'm going to use an eyebrow pencil here to darken our eyebrows. Give a real wild eyebrow here. And while I have the eyebrow pencil in my hand, I'm going to take it and run it right across the top. The whole trick here is to create the illusion of highlights and shadows. Now I'm going to take a very light pancake, and I'm just going to stipple it all over so it all blends in. I'm going to emphasize the shadows just a little bit more. And remove the makeup off her nose. But before I do that, I want you to smile for me. So let's see your teeth. That's a go. You wipe it clean. That little black pencil you had. She may never talk to me again, but that's beside the point. Another little trick. This is crepe hair. And what you do with this crepe hair, take the back of the brush, put it in here. That's fine. Now we're going to gild the lily by taking, I was at the theatrical store the other day and I picked up a nose. So we have the nose on her. And I have one of my favorite wigs here. Now, any old wig could do this. And she can go out and haunt houses anytime now. Now you can see smile. Give me a big smile. That's a girl. Very pleasant. She's a pleasant witch. And it shows you how quickly and easily you can create the illusion, and you don't have to wear heavy masks even as an adult. Thank you. You're doing very well. I don't want you to look in the mirror, though. Promise me.
Hello there! We are going to tell you a story that is so horrible, it's not funny. It's about Ninja Frankenstein. It first begins at the graveyard. It's Ninja Frankenstein! Alright, but the ghost friends are trying to stop him from being such an evil guy. Hey. But there was this one who knew how to defeat him. I know how to defeat you. Really? How? Show me. Oh, yeah? No! Ah! And they lived happily ever after. The end.
You're mine. Chicken.
McGruff here. If a bully is bothering you, play it smart and try to talk it out. Or get away and tell an adult.
Well done.
For more tips, write for my new free comic activity book. Play it smart and help take a bite out of crime.